I think the over for me was just the sheer breadth. Ed and I were talking, backstage, just the smorgasbord of different products, and virtually everything that was rumored, came to fruition, and I think more. And I think, for the whole power household, just incorporating Amazon Prime Video into Apple TV is big, right? We reduced one of the remotes, but there's some longer-term running things around peer-to-peer payments, around AR-Kit that I think, presents some promising opportunities.
This was like one of the spookiest sort of presentations. Spooky, super spooky. I mean, the AR stuff, they have an AI kit for developers as well. Point is, these products are becoming so powerful now. You can do so many things with it. I think what Apple was signaling to the developers there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Even we don't know what it is yet, so please come build it for us, right? And I think that's a big part of it. And I mean, spooky ultimately in a good way, right? I think the way AIs are taking over devices is a really interesting thing. I think that's what Apple really wants to work, is that Siri isn't just a voice thing. It's smartly connecting all your devices so that it knows everything or anticipates what you want when you want it, kind of a thing. And I think that's what I mean by the spooky part. I think ultimately that's what will drive more consumers.
Is its AI, though, as good as its competitors? Meaning, is Amazon ahead of the game? Is Google ahead of the game? Where is Apple relative to everybody else?
I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, and I think for a lot of these machine learning experts, they actually say Siri is really, really powerful. It's just not deployed in the smartest way from a consumer standpoint. The Alexa one actually works really well from a consumer standpoint, but isn't quite as powerful on the back end as Siri is. And I think it'll take time for that to really come in. I think that's another part of it as well, is what we saw at the developer conference. They want developers to really tap into Siri more so that people can see like what you can really do.
How important is this HomePod, which, by the way, we should note is not available until December.
Right.
And this is one of the first times I've seen them announce something so early in the game, in part, I think, to sort of both stoke developers, but also stoke consumer demand.
Look, I think HomePod is a nice opportunity for them. And as Tim Cook, says so eloquently, probably at all these conferences, right? They're more about, best than being first. And we'll see. Look, I mean, the key will, the proof will be in the pudding. How does the speaker stack up to other speakers that are on the market? And what's interesting about HomePod is they're really positioning it as a music-first device, which plays to Apple's core, legacy and strengths. And I think, from that standpoint, the price point's probably okay, despite being at a premium to the competitive products out there.
$300+, right?
It's really competing, and this is, Joe, you brought this up yesterday.
Sonos.
It's competing with Sonos, right? If you got a Sonos, this is the thing that, look, well, I have a Sonos, why would I need this? Or you might think, oh, I like this better because it has the smart capabilities, where I can access Siri and use it for things like setting timers and what's next on my calendar. Kind of
I should note Sonos, though, integrates. Sonos.
I thought it was Sonos.
Sonos.
What do I have?
You have Sonos.
I do. What's Sonos?
Sonos that's like
bargain brand,
President Trump's typo in the tweet.
Really? Okay.
It's Sonos. But I should note, the good news for you, Joe, is they are integrating Alexa and Siri and all these other things into it so that you'll be able to use these things. However, my question for you is, does this give the Amazons of the world and the Googles of the world a sneak peek of what Apple's doing, and therefore, are we going to see by December, pre-Christmas, an Amazon Echo that has amazing speaker functionality?
Well, there's no question.
For a cheaper price.
They're all playing in each other's backyard, right? I mean, Amazon's already moving in that direction, and I'm sure they've got product development to continue to improve their speaker capability. And likewise, Apple's going to continue to improve on the intelligence front, right? Continuing to up the ante with Siri.
I think it's harder to update hardware than it is update software. So I think Apple kind of one-ups them this way. It's like you can't just retool to create like a better speaker with everything else. I mean, I'm not saying they can't do it. It's just a harder thing to do even within that extended timeline. We're talking about December. It gives the competitors a window into what might be happening. I don't think they're going to tool up to kind of create a competing.
Well, and I think one of the keys here is Apple's really helped further ingrain itself in the household, right? With HomePod, with integrating Amazon Prime Video. I mean, they want to control the living room, right? And these are some key steps to get closer to that.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.